reported that they voted, even though I came to many places. People voted. They counted the vote. In short, for the first time, all Nigerians were joining to count the vote. People recorded. People snapped pictures of the results, as it was written by Analyst staff. But people have come to see completely different results. And to me, the major concern is what INEC did. What in the incompetence and sometimes for some time and so on. All after the voting, we're seeing the content right now.
All right. So the part of the Electoral Act I'm looking for that having a database where polling unit by polling unit results are stored. I cannot remember exactly. I've been looking for it now. But then again, okay, I see. Now, Section 62, subsection 2 says the Commission shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis a register of election results to be known as the National Electronic Register of Election conducted by the Commission. If it's connected to BVAS or the result.
BVAS is connected to the result. That is where all the polling unit results, everything brought on the button, a person can be able to apply. So what happened in I'm afraid that what happened, what we have seen, and what people are crying about. If all polling unit results will go there, which was an instant agent, and
sorry.
Electronic data.
No, this is what I'm saying. Now, INEC told us that at the point of the polling unit, the beeps will capture the result sheets and then send it IREV, which is report, right? And so people see it in real time. And it's also what that section of the law where there is that kind of a system where people, everybody can see by just this.
That is what that payment station is done. That's that it goes to the data. When the results are uploaded at the end of the result are not clear. It also goes to the so if you control the river and the system, it's already the register electoral register of results. So it has been listed with BVAS. BVAS was supposed to serve both purposes. Of course, the election result contains number of participants, number of votes, participants, number of valid votes, invalid votes. All those will be registered there. So in that, this is the National Electronic Register is a different electronic setup of itself, which receives information from different polling units, different collection centers. Right into it. It's thought that it shouldn't have any human intervention.
Okay. Interesting. It shouldn't have any human intervention. Now, looking at all of these things, I should also point you to the fact that the Electoral Act 2022 in Section 130 talks about how you can challenge the electoral process or processes. And in this case, it says you should go to the Election Tribunal. Opposition parties have said they will go to the Election Tribunal. Peter Obi, for instance, has said that Labour Party won the election. He believes so, and is going to challenge it in court to prove it. He said he has evidence. Now, looking from what we have talked about, looking at what was written or what is written in the Electoral Act of 2022, going to court, what are the possible outcomes? Hello?
Well, the possible outcome, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. The outcomes of a court going to court is court can nullify at the instance of the petitioner, the court can uphold the election and say, look, the election was conducted in substantial compliance with the Act, or the court can nullify the election and declare the other person winner depending on the prayer and the facts. Declare the petitioner winner depending on the prayers and the facts disclosed, or the court can also nullify the election and order that a fresh election be held. So that is what it is. It is the Electoral Act is not something new. The Constitution is a provides for that, for people resorting to court if they are not satisfied with the result of an election.
Now, let me rephrase my question. Now, my question is: now you're a lawyer, so let's say you are in court because you have said you found faults. You found faults on that day when the election was conducted, and I'm saying let's assume now you are in court as a lawyer and you are trying to argue in court that they were fault on the act. What I want to.
I was telling you now, these are the possible outcomes.
Okay.
If I'm allegation, then the court can uphold my petition and nullify the election, or the court can say to prove my allegations and uphold the election. And when if the court nullifies the election, it has options either to declare me winner depending on the fact. If I declare it as the one, it has to who earned the majority of votes, or to say I go and conduct a fresh election. So those are the possible consequences or effects of petition before the Electoral Tribunal.
Okay, now, so given what the Electoral Act says about using electronic means and having a database and all of that, do you think opposition parties stand a chance? Do you think their evidence will be enough in court?
Oh, sure. It is. As a matter of fact, this may be the first presidential election that will very easily be overturned because INEC admitted to the whole world. This provision in the Electoral Act said you will use electronic means. INEC admitted to the whole world that it fails. INEC would have been the one to say, sorry, we can't go on because we are conducting election according to law. We are failed. The system is not working. So we can't go on. INEC would have stopped the election at that point. We are not receiving results from the polling unit. We are not receiving results from the collection point as expected. So please let it stop now. INEC didn't do that. Instead, INEC went on in spite of the complaints, of so that I think the political parties have a very bright chance. As a matter of fact, when the election after the judicial trial, the judiciary up to the Supreme Court is under the court. Who is the court has actually us. Actually shown that I said you up. I saw I don't know what the court wanted again. This time you failed to comply with the law. He said in November 2015, in River State here, the only reason why Supreme Court upheld the election of years to weekend was that the electronic mode we were using that time.
Yeah.
That was not part of the law.
Smart card reader.
To cure that defect. Sorry?
The smart card reader.
Yes, card reader, exactly, card reader. It was to cure that defect that the electoral authority went further to make it certified mandatorily. So once we can prove that INEC didn't, and INEC and another people didn't, then everything they have done has been a waste of the 713 billion that was given to them. It's a very shameful situation of a very bad thing to do the economy of a sovereign nation like Nigeria. Suffering and sovereign nation like Nigeria.
Now, Dr. Chinwo,
yes.
I might not be able to quote the Constitution just as you can, but I want to believe that in the Constitution it says that every Nigerian, except for people who have gone to jail, who have been imprisoned, who are ex-convicts, should vote and be voted. It's the way the Constitution puts it. Can then be argued in court that people who were disenfranchised, because logistics, reasons to stem polling units, in certain cases it was late, so they had to stop. It can be argued that due to some people were disenfranchised, that the elections were not really done after the Constitution says you can be voted for and you can also vote as long as you're an ex-convict.
Yes. Normally, in one old English case which we say in Nigeria, actually white. You're saying went to vote, couldn't vote. If there is candidate one, the court is right. That's how they prevail when they write the verdict. And the court said, look, even though it's only they wanted to vote, still one election, they bring people to vote and vote for, to vote. And the court upheld it. Every lawyer looked at Ashby and white. Well, the problem is, can the election be null because the say Mr. B didn't vote? No, it cannot be. Provided people have opportunities to vote. Now, if the candidate and he goes to court, let's say he goes to court now, that is not going to stop the fact that SYZ did not vote, even though they are supporters. They don't say that people who are members voted, and this is their vote, and it's in our favor. It was not vote. It challenged the vote of the house, not the one that we have been cast. Can't you make the call in the presence of my house? But that is not going to be the basis of qualifying election. As one of us, the only people who can go to court and tell them political parties, the people who contested the election. So they go and for the election. And it's not find them because if everybody goes to the stagnation now, they can't do anything again for 4 years.
Okay, now let's look at the outcome now. So an opposition party goes to court, maybe PD, maybe Labour Party, any other party, goes to court, wins in court. Will that not cause a constitutional crisis? Because it will mean that the government in power at time would make a legal one. And it's the presidency, the situation. Assuming such happens, how does the Constitution, or what does the Constitution say should be done?
Yes. The Constitution creates a timeline for the same of the election tribunal, whether it's a presidential election tribunal or legislative tribunal. It has timeline for the Court of Appeal, it has timeline for the Supreme Court. Well, this election petition, because this one brings our court, like I said earlier, brings them on to look at all the work of the trial finished, and they don't want it. People are going to be one with Nigeria. Why must I okay be especially in the next times? Even when America had the 2000 and go and Japan, the Supreme Court says sensitive. We are going to watch this time. Whether the Nigerian Supreme Court and the Nigerian judiciary is ready to rise up against all the responsibility or whether to pass. That is the time when Nigeria will decide and this court to rise up or to power. But I believe that the judiciary must rise up and just the government and the electorate that should be if you can what the stupid. But if they want to do things according to the time, and sometimes it is the law because now this was the very serious in Gaza and filling it international database for their own party petition. All the parties must rise up quickly and go to the world unit and get everything and set immediately. And once if the tribunal for instance nullifies the election, showing that the office because it still has a appeal, you will still in the office. Like what happened in the Olympics now, you will still be in the office. Appeal, it's still in the office. But the Supreme Court, that day ends. It's office.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
They can't do that.
This saying. I'm saying when we have reached this, because that's the finality, right? When we've
we leave office, if they can't leave office, he must leave. He will leave. That's the problem. If he doesn't leave, it creates a crisis. So, whether by arm or a principal protest, they can't come again. So, I don't think anybody enough to.
So, when he leaves office, who then takes the third in command? That the Senate president.
Well, that if the Supreme Court that the fresh election should be conducted. But if the petition is that this man, like I know that parties, the Labour Party is petitioning, to say remove that man, he did it in I1. If Labour proves their results that they want only unit results, then the Supreme Court declares the Labour repeat to be the candidate, the proper person who was to be elected. He has used office immediately, and his time begins to run. That what happened in that case is that he made a deny because no more status. That's good. He needs to know they have changed this country. Through the regard to the parties off-season
election,
beginning of tenure. So the president.
All right. Now, technicality. Last time we were here, you had a conversation on technicality, especially the Supreme Court giving judgments based on technicality. What technicalities do you have come from the election judgments, even at the Supreme Court, if it gets to the Supreme Court?
Yes. Technicalities as to see it as negative because that is in the court. God can do it according to the correct. Technicalities of time. There is something which was final. There's no sort of time. So if you don't put it work out, there's nothing you can dismiss. Technicalities of procedure. There is like petition, even the format, the form by which you bring petition. Bring it by that. Technicalities of bring competent with the witness for comment. Who is going to give here evidence? Oh, they told me that in my word that happened. Even I expect that the lawyers they engage every petition. No one is supposed to be done, and they should respond to them quickly. Technicalities of that panel. So if you are going to bring a presidential petition, I could appeal a tribunal, you lose it. So the technicalities are still happen. So just one right and said, forms of action are there, but the rulers from the grave. That's still very important, and I expect that everybody should keep it. But when the court begins to touch on inanimate, as we say, things that don't matter, then we have a margin that says that the minimis no squares they don't understand is for too little, and that's no makes no is clear for it. So those are the two things are where the court will go to, people will be angry. Technicalities are important. I think Nigeria should understand it because once I say, even in the argument market, there are technicalities. When I'm telling about should the parties at that level, but the court should not be arrogant. That's where people get offended. Where you, for instance, what happened in the case, the Supreme Court said won't allow technicalities that no one has won at the Supreme Court. They said go home, and the party will say that's what won't allow that one. That's how the court should act in this case.
All right.
Make sure that don't allow to arrogant anybody. But if it's
outcomes of the Presidential Election Tribunal, and it's very important because this conversation is important because we need to begin to build trust We just talked about strengthening institutions, and this is one way we can strengthen institutions by putting focus. We need to be intentional about the institution called the judiciary. And when I understand that the people are very much conscious the happenings in the judiciary, the institution would want to sit up, do things the right way. So what are some of the possible outcomes you envisage you see happening? Because we need to follow legal procedures and like I said, and I've said 1,000 times, the legal procedure in days is going and showing evidence. And you've heard the law, I get also say, you have to go with good enough evidence and prove your case worthy, and only then will court answer your prayers. All right, so 0700 923 0923 is the number. 0700 923 is the number. Remember, live on Facebook, on Twitter, Nigerian for PH is the handle. You go there, search for Nigerian for PH, and you'll see the live stream. Drop your comments and let's interact. Let's have a conversation. Or better still, you can send a WhatsApp message 0809 0306 A lot of Nigerians have said we don't necessarily trust the judiciary. But I mean, looking at what we've heard and looking at what the Electoral Act 2022 says, do you see a chance of rewriting the wrongs in the electoral processes that happened on Saturday, the 25th of February? Or better still, do you think that there were no wrongs and that the court will prove, the court will interpret to Nigerians that nothing really did happen? But then again, before I go to the phone lines, Dr. Chinwo, there is the talk of manual collation and electronic collation. INEC is insisting that it has always said it will do manual collation. Is this a case of manual collation, or is it the case of electronic transmission? Let's clear that argument.
Whether it is a case of manual or electronic.
Yes. No, that's not. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
INEC promised that they will do concurrently, in the sense that they are results coming in technically. And they even said that we actually between a manual and electronic route will vary. INEC was clear about that. You electronically, you just upload it there. If what application center is different, but anyway, like one thing later is up, don't know about place. INEC said that after that, paper, mutilate paper, because paper will happen. This will happen. I'm not seeing that where Labour Party will start the city. Somebody will cancel the 2, and then somebody calls it 04. They will put the 2 to that party. The level of criminality, it has turned this nation to a nation of crime, in the eyes of the whole world. So, INEC was very clear that one side, I would say it's electronic, but they will take the 2 concurrently, but when there's a conflict, they will now use the electronic to override. So that it's a work. They need to system of checking themselves. Nobody is surprised why they went this way.
All right. Okay, so keep your calls coming in 0700 923 0923. I presume, or I assume there is a network issue, but just if you better still can't reach me via that number, you can send your text messages or WhatsApp messages to the number.
If you don't mind, why before they start calling, section 60 subsection 5 says the presiding officer shall transfer the results, including total number of accredited voters and the result of the ballot, in a manner prescribed by the commission.
Okay.
And the commission prescribed what I just told you. So it was compliant by.
Okay. All right then. Okay. Please stop calling the just call the number I've given to you, because if I answer via the other channel you're calling by or calling with, I would not be able to talk to my guest anymore. So just use the number 0700 923 0923 0700 923 0923. This one says, good evening, presenter. Please, can you ask the legal practitioner on the real legal implication of 25% of voters as a requirement for winning the presidential election in Nigeria? Mike, thanks. All right, Dr. Chinwo, over to you. Okay. Hello? Someone is
I'm hearing you.
someone is asking if you can explain the legal implication of 25% of voters as a requirement for president. Explain legal election in Nigeria.
The legal implication of the requirement.
No, the legal implication of 25% of votes as a requirement for winning the presidential election in Nigeria.
Okay. What the Constitution provides is that at the end of the election, the candidate with the highest votes and who scored at least 25% of the number of votes in at least 2/3 of the states and the Federal Capital Territory is the one who will declare now.
Right.
It means that if the total number of, let's say, 10 million votes, 10 million votes came from all the states, all the south, only 17 states, only the not only 19 states. This is one of I can be a
spread at least across 24, 26 states.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it, because the aim is to ensure national integration. The aim is to ensure the people who become the people of this country as well appreciation. People appreciate somehow all over the country. What the people because these rich people or everyone said they want him, he now rules the country of the destiny group.
All right.
We are saying that people meaning with the person with the national acceptance. That's why that's the implication of it. The 20% is to test the state, include our best of what I've got to say. It's like if you know what means that people now who can only 20% of the state. But now it means that in my own opinion, put it way, it means that of secretary and then you are qualified to be president.
All right, we lost connection. They keep trying. What are some of the possible outcomes you are expecting? 90.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. 90.3 it is. Yes, it is. Jane, where are you calling in from?
From Abuja.
Away from Abuja. Welcome. Let's talk. Right.
Okay.
Okay, just fine. Okay, so we can take the calls. Let's hear your take, please.
There is a possibility in every law. Nobody above this. Some people are saying agree that are going to be.
It's not just Peter Obi now. By the way, it's not just Peter Obi. It's opposition based.
Sorry?
I said it's not just about Peter Obi now. It's basically opposition.
Yeah. I'm just giving instance.
Okay.
So, any opposition party wants to tribunal, for injuries. They must win if there's enough evidence. I remember what happened in Anambra State once a time when Peter Obi went to judicial. He later won because he went with enough evidence. I could remember coming to one side of the state. You go, the C.A.J. went to court, and he later won. So once you go to
so Frank, do you think there are enough evidence out there concerning the conduct of the elections, if February? Do you think there are enough evidence out there?
Yeah, I'm in a good life when this thing happens. You know me, it doesn't believe politics because of how it always goes before now. But this year, people come out, and there is a kind of motivation in politics in election. So people can take it. So two things like there are evidences that people can voice no other there are enough evidence for it. So nobody will start saying that there is not enough evidence.
Thank you very much.
So I believe there is enough. If any of them going to the court, hence there is enough. Even me here, I was told to come to court and I don't.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, Frank, from Abuja. Even the contact here in the electoral law to transmit the results electronically, or it is on INEC's discretion because Senate President says it is not in law. From your group, we get to that one. Now let's take this call. 90.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello.
Your set is noisy.
This is Victor. Good evening.
All right.
Please, I want to ask you how come the election be overturned as a result of transmitting results of the level? Is that enough for the election to cancel?
All right, we'll get your question. 93, no.
No?
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, now, there are plenty of evidence with the fingerprint on the choice candidate. We are just littered around the street, which were not captured.
Okay.
So I know there are plenty of evidence.
But sorry, just hold on. Dr. Chinwo, disenfranchisement is not enough reason, right?
It's not a reason to nullify elections.
Okay. So
other people voted.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that's not enough evidence. I don't think it will work in court. But thank you nonetheless for your time. But let's quickly, come back to you, Dr. Chinwo. Someone is asking, or someone did ask, based on transmission of results from polling units. It wasn't done. Is that enough reason to cancel the result or cancel the election and probably give another verdict?
Yes, that is substantial non-compliance with the provision of the Act. I thought the 60 subsection 5 said shall, it's not may. The presiding officer shall transfer the result, including total number of unaccredited voters, and the result of the ballot in a manner prescribed by the commission, and not the presiding officer at the polling unit. Not even at the state level, and that must be done. So if he didn't do it, he didn't comply. And the reason for it is this. It has been observed before now that the major rigging occurs between carrying the result from polling unit to collation point before transmitting to INEC. So to avoid that, now it is not that you must transmit that result. And INEC went further to say, to ensure that happens, everybody in Nigeria is entitled to give a photograph of it, take video of it, and then the result will be transmitted. And then when you bring the written result, they will compare it to what is transmitted. If there's a conflict, the transmitted one will prevail. So if they didn't transmit, with what will I check? What is compared? So it is enough ground, solid ground, especially under Electoral Tribunal to nullify an election. That is why Nigerians were happy for election, the Act 2002. And in retrospect,
2022. You keep saying 2002, 2022.
Thank you, my brother. 2022, God bless you. Some of us were almost looking back because we don't move forward in Nigeria.
Okay, now, so someone is saying, I don't know how true the statement is because I don't think I've seen it, but it's saying the Senate president has said it's not in the law, that INEC is supposed to do things out of their own discretion. Is that what the law says? Because you just quoted a part of the Electoral Act that does say elections should be transmitted electronically. So maybe we want to answer that question. Can you help us?
Well, I've read to you that once again, there are many sections and provisions in the Act that says as prescribed by the Commission. Even the Constitution gives the Commission power to make guidelines, provided it's not contrary to the Constitution. But the Act is very explicit. As prescribed, that's the power of INEC. INEC prescribed. So when INEC has prescribed, it is not, even though the Senate president didn't know that when the Act was passed, too bad for him. The INEC has to prescribe, and they prescribed. And I mean, a video is going on now about the INEC chairman. He emphasizing it November 22nd. He emphasizing it over and over again. That's what somebody said. Let's call you spoke over 1,000 times about this thing. They're very clear. So that is another thought of the Senate president.
Okay, let's take some few more calls.
INEC has the power, constitutional power to prescribe what is to be done.
All right. Okay, so this one says, Canada, if Peter Obi is declared winner today, will there be peace? Will the electoral processes be okay? Will INEC chairman be a good man? Will Nigerians change their attitude? Tinubu won as declared by INEC. Let us support him now so he won't give excuses tomorrow. Ibufubara say it's not about who won or who lost. It's about, I said it yesterday, it's about the process. I mean, it's simply about the process. That's what I think anyways. This one says, good evening, Canada. I believe he who goes to the tribunal with hard facts shall win. Otis from Port Harcourt. I see what you did there. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
My name is Promise. I'm calling from Obakari.
All right, Promise from Obakari. Quickly, please.
I heard what you are discussing with the barrister on the radio.
Okay.
So my own question is that, are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
So my own question is that, like I was talking to somebody, the person was telling me that if, hello?
Go ahead quickly. We don't have time. Quickly, please.
Okay. The person was telling me if Atiku and P2B, they go to court, that Tinubu, the Supreme Court is his voice. So I don't know, because I know very well that INEC did not do well. For INEC to tell the world that all the results will be
will be transferred into their own server or whatever. And later they did not do according to what they said. And I know very well in Nigerian constitution, like what you are asking the barrister, the Highness did not do well. And I said, if Atiku and the people went to court, if they want to judge the matter very well, they will disqualify the.
All right, then. All right. Let's allow the lawyer answer your question. I mean, he's talking about the judiciary as we have talked about, in the course of the show. So there is that lack of belief in the judiciary. How do you think the judiciary can handle, as we close the show now? Let's answer that question. How do you think the judiciary can win the trust?
I want to say that Nigerians should have faith in the judiciary. There's no doubt sometimes the judiciary has surprised us. They have also surprised us for good and surprised us for ill. Often the things we blame the court is attributable to the lawyers. Unfortunately these days, there's an assumption that every senior advocate knows all the law. And a man you go and gather 100 senior advocates, you only cause confusion for yourself. 100 senior advocates, only one person will speak. Only one person even is paying attention. Because of money, stolen government money, you gather number of, it doesn't add anything to your case. And that's one of the things that they have, petitioners have confusion. Get a lawyer or two who will pay attention to the issues, can very carefully and draft a proper petition and present the case with soberness. Because people are thinking that they are pressing the press. It's not a press trial. So, but when the lawyer presents his case properly, and like somebody said, you must have facts. If the parties don't collect all their polling unit results, and he just goes to court and say, we saw 1,000 people at the voting, my video, 1,000 people came there. Those 1,000 people could have gone there to vote for your opponent. So whatever is over, they suffered. Right. So let the lawyers know what is to be done and do it well. We don't want all this media trial and media presentation. Let lawyers be sober about the very serious things and do it. Then the court will respond.
All right.
Courts have done it before, but it will be for other people. So I don't know what they cannot do it again.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. C.A.J. Chinwo, a constitutional lawyer, a public affairs analyst, and a former lecturer of the River State University. Thank you very much for your time. Time is fast spent, and we have to go.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right, then. If you're listening, you stay tuned. I know a lot of messages, a lot of calls still coming in. I'll take them when it's time for the open season after the major news at 6. But for now, we have to bring you the news update at 5. And we have to switch the conversation and talk about the Naira redesign and how it affected the federal elections and how it will affect the governorship election. And after that, we get to talk about everything. So you just stay. I'm sorry about the phone lines earlier. I'm very sorry about it. We couldn't take your calls earlier. But, I mean, just be patient, like I've been saying for the past few days. And when it's the time for the open season, I'll take your calls. Good evening. I'm Kalada Karubatibo, and you're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.